Boom! All right, ladies and gentlemen, ladies out there specifically, if you are feeling like this space isn't for you, here's an empowering episode to get you where you need to go, the confidence level you want. So let's get this going. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Look, a business can give you everything you want in life: prestige, wealth, freedom. It can also take everything away from you. This show is for those who are willing to take that risk. These are the real life stories of entrepreneurs. But before we start, I have one small favor to ask. Please leave a comment. It can be advice, critiques, tips, feedback, or share this with someone because your engagement is the most valuable and most powerful form of social currency. So thank you, and welcome to another episode of Business Bros. Business Bros. Today's episode is all about celebrating women and unlocking their true potential. We have an incredible guest joining us, a distinguished business strategist and leadership mentor. Her passion lies in helping women develop a thriving relationship with their work and purpose. She dreams of a world where work becomes a space for collaboration, celebration, significance, and fulfillment. It's not just a pipe dream. Our guest has the high-level strategies and practical steps to make it a reality. With over 20 years of experience in technology and a profound framework for change, she has transformed business executive leaders and herself. Now she's here to empower all of us on a journey of growth and impact. So let's dive into this empowering conversation with Miss Maria Carpenter. Round two on the show. Welcome to the program again.
Yeah, what a pleasure, what a privilege. I just want to say that I don't know how happy my husband would be to hear me being referred to as Miss. So just for the record, it is still Mrs.
Okay, it's Mrs. It's Mrs.
Yeah. In case there's any questions. Yeah.
Well, first of all, what's changed since you came back? Tell me a little bit. I mean, it's been quite a while. What has shifted in your mind where you're like, you know what? It's time to start putting out more and more content. You've started really projecting your message out. Your mission is very inspiring. I mean, you're coming out, especially on this episode, in a time where we just had the Barbie movie come out, another women empowerment type film. What's your background? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Why are you here?
You mean on Earth? Okay. Such a great question.
In general, yes.
So glad you asked. Okay, so I was born in a Greek family, 6 brothers and myself. So already starting position, very masculine world and environment around me. And Greek Cypriots, so how the Greek Cypriots typically are, it's very much men are gods and women are here to serve them. And I love my brothers and my male cousins and all the males in my life. I adore them all. But that is very much part of our DNA. It's the imprint and how we were raised and how we were born. So 6 brothers, 1 girl. So there was always this, go help your mother in the kitchen. It was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I want a seat at the table. I demand a seat at the table. And I had, unfortunately, only girl, but took off to my dad. So very like feisty and what did you say? Okay, I'm going to do the opposite. Thank you very much for permission. And so grew up with this like that spirit, and that's how it started. And little did I realize that actually women in the kitchen have great conversations, and it's actually a really nice place to be. But I was so resistant to that stereotype being placed on me. You're a woman, you will cook, you will clean, you will do all of this. And I said, I will do whatever I want to do, and I'm going to do it better than everybody else. That was my goal and my intent. So climbed the corporate ladder and was quite you could say, the career trajectory was really quick, really powerful. And I was far too young. I was at 27 years old. I was running a team. It was a complicated financial product. It was reverse factoring. We were hitting the African market. We were trying to extend it from South Africa into Africa, one of the largest banks on the African continent, and blah, 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 27. Okay, so to the live audience, 27 sounds old to you when you are in your
17.
teens.
Yeah.
When you're 17 years old, 27 sounds super old. It actually isn't. It actually isn't. You've just kind of grown up. I wasn't married. I wasn't in a serious relationship. You kind of just realize that life without your parents backing you is very different.
Mm-hmm.
And all those goals and aspirations, I still hadn't worked it out yet, but they weren't actually, the goals and aspirations were kind of like to prove to everybody, but they weren't mine. They weren't these goals of this is what I want to do with the world, this is what I do with my life, and. Okay, so but 27, starting to wake up to that, and also complete burnout. So overworked. At the time, really enjoyed going out and eating steak, delicious South African meat, steak, and delicious South African wine. A lot of wine. Yeah. So really midnight oil and early mornings working. It was just hard work. So burnout, 27, and I thought there's got to be something else. I think I'm doing something wrong here. I'm missing something. Like, what is the point? What's the point? What's the point? Why are we here? Why am I here? And those are the questions that started unfolding. And went to the UK, lived in London for a bit, ended up meeting my South African husband while pretending to learn how to snow ski in Italy. And yeah, lots of bruises. And then came back to South Africa different. I'd had a lot of time by myself, and so a lot of quiet time, and I was different. But then fast paced, started my own business, got married, 2 kids, everything is going again. Doof, 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 go, 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 go. And now I am working at night because I want to take my kids to school and I want to actually be a mom. But Hannah, I've got to prove to everybody that I deserve a seat at the table. I don't deserve to only be in the kitchen. And, so now the business is growing and growing, and I'm absolutely exhausted. And then my brother was tragically killed in South Africa.
Oh,
so
man.
it was an armed robbery. We have quite violent crime in Johannesburg, South Africa, and it was devastating. It was the biggest. It was, life just had no meaning. And my brother had 4 kids, and he was just, he was my best, and I just adored and loved him, and I could see no point. So now it had gone from, I'm going to strive and show everybody, to, I actually don't want to strive. I don't want to show anybody anything. I actually don't even really want to be here. I don't even know why I'm here. I love my kids, and I get that, and I'm going to do my best to raise them, but everything else doesn't make sense. And in that space of darkness, depression, I realized with some help from my husband, I needed to get out, and I clawed my way out really slowly, but by studying the works of great teachers. And that was the likes of Joe Dispenza, Abraham Hicks, Bruce Lipton, Gabor Mate, and all these great thinkers, philosophers, scientists, doctors, all these great. And I developed a new way of thinking. And in this space of new thinking, out the blue, I got a phone call from a company saying, we want you to run our digital team. It was a really big company in South Africa, blah, blah, blah. Dream job. Did not make sense that they phoned me. Really didn't make sense. I had my own business, only managing myself. And now I was given a team of 80 people. But now the thing was that I had come into this job. I had been building strategies for big corporates for years. I had been doing all these great, wonderful digital transformation strategies and blah, blah, blah. But they never quite got it. Like the business would never get the results that we had hoped for exactly. They weren't as great as we had hoped and planned for. But now I was a different person. And everything that we planned for worked like magic. Everything in this company. I scaled the team from 80 to 220 people in 2 years. The different departments that basically didn't really like each other. One could say they hated each other. They were now talking, and they might not have loved each other and invited each other over for dinner, but they were quite respectful towards each other. And things changed. The culture changed. So what was different? The strategies were very similar to what I'd done before. What was different? I was different. So this perspective shift had changed who I was, and therefore changed the culture and the way I did things. And so everything in the business that I was involved in, if I had the ability and the influence, and luckily I was in charge with that role, the influence, I could shift everything. Okay, so this is all very interesting. I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. That's so cool. COVID happens. we now have to build the contact tracing app for South Africa. And well, we didn't have to. We were very lucky and privileged to be given the opportunity to work with Apple and Google. And I led this team for South Africa. It was like wild. Like me, this little Greek South African girl who was just kind of like, I feel like I'm kind of like just fumbling my way through it and working things out as I go along. And like, okay, cool. This is amazing. And I use the same thinking and philosophies in that team. And those thinking and the philosophies, I'm going to tell you about it now, but it's very much around the softer side. We can do things, we can work, we can be super successful, and we don't have to be jerks. We don't have to be a-holes to the people we work with. We don't have to be these hardcore people that are like, if you don't do what I say, you're out of here. There's another way, and it's a beautiful way, and you can still win. It's not about we must just be nice to each other and we don't have to worry about winning.
So let me ask you, does that mean that like the young version that Maria was, where you wanted a seat at the table, meant that you were doing anything you possibly can, as cutthroat as it was, to earn that seat at the table? And after you have some life experiences, now you're seeing things a little bit different. Like there's yes, it's a woman empowerment, but it's not an anti-male. Like, I kind of feel like you kind of shifted the mindset.
No. So the earlier version of Maria, I wouldn't do absolutely anything, but I tolerated absolutely anything. So I went into tech, very male dominated. So it's so competitive. Like the people are quite hectic. South Africans are quite hectic. I have been told when I worked in the UK, they said, South Africans, wow, you guys are like very powerful, very tough. They didn't say powerful. They said, we're scared of you. Okay. So, and I don't know, maybe it's the rugby guys, but I'm also not very tall, just for the record. But I can be scary because I needed to survive in this male world. And so how I learned to survive was I could elevate my testosterone levels instead of finding alignment and the masculine and feminine, bringing them into balance. And that's what's changed. And I absolutely adore and love men. I have 2 sons. It's like I just can't get away from just being around men. It's like I could do what my mom did. She didn't give up. That's why I'm second youngest. She was like, I'm going to have a daughter. God is going to give me a daughter. Like, okay. Number 6 will be a daughter, but then stop. She's number 7, my beautiful little brother. Okay, so we cannot uplift women by and through the diminishment of men. That is incorrect. This thinking of, as women, our women empowerment, female empowerment, is we have to stand on or get handouts. Men need to fix the wrongs that they've done by making it better for us. Not true either. Everybody needs to find themselves, find their center, find their purpose, find their bliss, find what makes you happy, and do that. Now, there has been a lot of inequality, though, in the past. So how do we fix that inequality? I think it's awareness and presence. So having the awareness that the way we did things in the past wasn't correct. Correct is a big word. You could say, but is correct incorrect? Because the companies did very well. They made huge profits by paying women less than they paid men, by promoting men more often than they would promote women, and et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. So were they doing something incorrect? It was very unkind, but the business was still doing well. Does it have longevity? No. It's not, because the more of us that are waking up in the world, the more of us are going, I vote with my cash. I'm not going to give you my cash and buy your products because I don't like the way you treat your staff. I don't like the stories that are coming out about you. And so you're like, but that's such a slow process and these businesses get away with it. It's not about them getting away with it. It's about us making choices that make us happy as consumers. If that company is doing well, let them do well on their own. Who do you want to support? And so the saying that I always use is, the secret to change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. And as women, now we've got this opportunity to do things differently. And that includes women empowerment, where we uplift ourselves and each other without standing on men. Because then we would be, I hate to say it, very similar to the way men were in the past. You can't right a wrong with 2 wrongs, right?
Correct.
And it's not, yeah, and that's okay. That was a very long answer, but yeah.
No,
So
that was good though. That was good. And I agree with you that we are all different. And part of what makes us beautiful and awesome is that there are differences. There are things that men are very good at, and there are things that women are very good at, and neither of them can go without each other. They need to use each other's strengths to kind of propel and move forward. So I like that you can't go back and correct the wrongs, but you can build a new, and that's kind of that's kind of where the focus is at. So Maria, what's your business now? What is it that, how are you turning your mission into profitability? What are you selling? I guess
Such a
is
great
my simple question.
Yeah, such a great question. So I've got different programs that I've created. So there's really strong business programs, and the one is it's the Thriving Tech Team. So keeping my history and experience, rich experience in technology, and that you can find on my website. And that's focused on creating the right structure and culture. And to create a team that is the asset. It's actually not, so when we're in the tech team, our asset is the digital asset that we build. It's a mobile app, it's a website, and then we're looking at conversions and we're measuring that in terms of our success rate. But the actual success from my decades of experience is, can you create a group of people that work well together? They actually care about each other as human beings. They see each other as human beings, and their focus is on getting better and better and better together. I don't know how to make this entertaining for 17-year-olds. Guys, there's a lot of money in technology, so you need to focus on this conversation, because tech, mobile app development, if you haven't got a career yet, I think you should think about this one.
No, and you're exactly right. Like my students literally, they all have Go High Level accounts right now. And so in classroom, we're teaching them, or I'm teaching them how to create things like landing pages, forms, calendars, booking links, funnels, all the marketing material necessary to promote companies. Because like you said, it's where tech is at, using AI and automations in place to help take a customer or a client who is looking for customers and increasing their conversion rates. I mean, that's a skill set that is definitely something that they can really make money on. You're literally you're doing the same thing, and I'm trying to do it with 17-year-olds. Any words of advice to kind of help them to see the light on what we're trying to teach them here in class?
Okay, so absolutely. So the Thriving Tech Team, this is for big corporates, right? So they're not 17 years old, but whether it's the Thriving Tech Team or it's a thriving leader in business, so it's for any business, it's not just in a tech space, any business. I've got the same process that I follow, the same framework. And now I've got this for the Fearless Female Mastermind group. And it's always a small, intimate group of ladies, and it's focused on confidence, limitlessness, clarity, just for women. Okay, and that container I found it's very magical because it is just women. Even though I'm telling you, guys, we have to focus on men and women having alignment together, there is still some work that can only be done in the space of sisterhood. I mean, I'm even using that word sisterhood in corporate. Okay, so to the 17-year-olds, the process that I follow, it's the same framework that I use. You've got to be clear on what you want. Okay, so when you have absolute clarity as this is what I want, and at 17 years old, do not make it when you're 50. Make it, even that's like way too old. You're probably thinking you're going to be dead by then, all right? Don't even make it when you're 30. This is what I want, and this is how it's going to be, and this is the detail, and I'm so specific, and blah, blah, blah. Just think, okay, I definitely want to have my own business, or I definitely want to work for somebody else. Let's assume I definitely want to have my own business. I want to have a team of 10 people around me. I want to be selling to 20 clients a month. That's it. 20 clients, that's all I want. I want to be traveling. I want to live at this kind of house. I want a partner. Don't get married too young. I mean, it's romantic and it's great, but you can just stay together. You don't have to get married. Take your time, okay? Got a beautiful partner. I love him or her. Got pets. We're having a great time. Maybe we've got a boat. Okay, go to as much detail as you want around the fun stuff around your life at the age of 30. Now you've got to work out the route to get there. So I've got clarity. This is what I want. I've got my vision for the future. Now, how do I get there? Now, that is where I look at mindset, process, and chi. I'm going to summarize it because I don't want to lose it. What you're looking at, do I believe I can have what I want? Do I expect it? And why do I want it? So we all want to be, most people, we want to be abundantly wealthy, no need. We don't need anything because we've got everything that we need. We just want cool stuff, which we're working towards, or we've just got so much cash, we've got it. Okay. But that's not why we want it. Why do I want a comfortable house with bedrooms for my 2 kids and an office space for me? Because I want to be able to work from home. I want to be close to my kids. That's the why that I'm looking for, because I actually want to be a really good mom. And I love working though. I love working. I love thinking about complex problems and thoughts and concepts. And when AI came out, I'm like, wow, okay, how are we going to be able to use this and harness the power so that less people have to work physically hard labor and more of us can have money? And so these are the thoughts that consume my minds. I love that, okay? But that's taken me years to work out. This is the time when they should be working that out. And even if building a funnel, landing page and stuff is not interesting to you, just know whatever business you have is going to need that. So what greater way to learn to be an expert in this stuff that is going to just be tools to making your business great than getting clients to pay you to learn? I guess like so awesome. How lucky are you?
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Oh, you're right. And when you're right, you're right. And you're always right.
That's the key right there. That's the skill set, and you're literally, it's the opposite of going to college. You're paying to go learn something, and this way you're getting paid to learn the same type of stuff, the stuff that's going to take your business to that next level. Maria, who's the target audience you're after today? So you have the different types of groups. Obviously it was women, but can you kind of get a little more specific? Who are you targeting?
Very specific. Right now, targeting. I would love to work with women. The group that I've got, this mastermind, we almost completing the first round. It's 90 days working together, and it has been phenomenal. I had no idea how blissful this would be for me, facilitating this group. I felt like this is something that I really want to try doing, and let's see how it goes, because I had some women in my life who had been asking me about my work and how could we do this and how can we just, I said, okay, let's just build a group and let's see how it goes. And how it went was, I've got women doing cold plunges with me all over South Africa. We don't stay in the same place. And it's winter and their pools are 10 degrees Celsius.
Oh,
that's very cold. It's very cold. So I'm swimming in the Cape Town Ocean, which is, okay, it's 14 degrees. It's 4 degrees warmer than their pools, but it's still super cold. It's very cold, yeah? And they stay in their pools for 10 minutes alone. Outside their houses, in their swimming pools, and their whole family thinks they're absolutely crazy, but they did it. And they did it because they wanted to push themselves to see what they could do. They wanted to do hard things, and they wanted to see, well, what is this whole story about nervous system reset? And Maria says that this is going to give me confidence, and she said that I can do it. And I keep saying to them, look at me. I am like, I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And that line seems to be very successful. So what it's done is I've seen these women blossom at work and in their corporate spaces. And some of them are teachers as well. Wherever they are, they take these skills and then they also take it to their work, to their families, to their communities. And I love it. And that is why I would love to work with lots of women to share this work. It can be a bit tough, but it's not complex, and it'll change your life. It'll change their lives. And I think that every woman that changes means we're one step closer to a more beautiful world.
It's a huge confidence boost. The fact that you can even go out. Oh, well, first of all, the fact that you're waking up and stepping out into the cold is number one. It's already a big thing. And then you're stepping into this cold water, shocking your system and putting it into a reset, and then doing it on a consistent basis. Yeah, everything else you're going to do in your day is going to be so much easier than doing that. You're setting them up for success. Any promos or giveaways or anything like that to help women want to come and take the leap? Maybe not the cold plunge right off the bat, but to take the leap to join the mastermind?
Yes. So during the month of September, I'm running a program called the September Shift. And it is $20 for the month. And in that month, you'll get to spend time with me. There is a whole process on helping you create habits to bring this clarity and confidence into your life in a very gentle way. Just for 3 weeks in September, and then you can get a sense of, is this for me or isn't it? And it's, I'd love to have everybody join.
And if
Even the
people want to
17-year-olds.
if people want to sign up, they want to get started. They're like, look, Maria's full of energy. She's got my same mindset. This is the type of group I want to join. How can they do that?
Okay, so the link is coming up onto the website in the next 2 days for the September shift. We're just wrapping up the immersive experience that we've been running this month called Thriving and Fearless Workshop. So yeah, in the next 2 days, they can go to the website or go to the website right now and join the mailing list because when it launches on the website, a mail will go out. So I'd love to have you all join the mailing list. And the mailing list is for men and women.
One more time, in case people are just listening, what website?
Which part must I say? They must please join the mailing list. Come to my website and join the mailing list, and you will get all the information about the September shift, which is 3 weeks running to help build habits, and you will get a sense of this work, the framework. It's called the MPC Framework for Change. And just with the habits that you get to be exposed to in September, you will have shifts in your life. And I'm very excited about it.
So one more time, ladies and gentlemen, that website is mariapcarpenter.com, mariapcarpenter.com. And it's all about making that shift in your mind and having that group that you want to be accountable to. And Maria's exactly doing that, empowering you, giving you the opportunity to make that change and to be part of a group that's trying to change together. Because when one of you is doing it, it's tough already. But when there's a group of you doing it, it makes it that much easier. Maria, before we head out, any final thoughts?
I just think you're fantastic. I love the work that you do. And I'm just, really grateful to have been exposed to your work and to have met you. And I hope your students really appreciate you because you are awesome.
I hope so too. I mean, regardless, they're stuck with me for the entire year. So, but hopefully they're learning some stuff that they can use and implement themselves. All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Maria P. Carpenter is the website. Go ahead and hit over there. September, she's got a promo going on. It's only $20 to sit in and learn and be a part of this entire group. It's really uplifting, especially for those women out there. This is where you want to go. This is a group of like-minded individuals. Maria P. Carpenter is the website. Maria, thank you very much for coming on the show. Last thing I always ask is, it's our testimonial. Everything from the point that you saw us on Instagram, signed up for our page, or signed up for our podcast, the reminder emails, text messages that you got. What was your experience like creating content with the Business Bros?
It's been pretty cool and quite seamless. I've learned a lot just by watching Business Bros. So the ability to create the content for myself, I keep going back onto your Instagram and all the content that you produce to double check myself. My experience has been great. It's really been great. And I'm very grateful for the help that I've had in up-leveling my work.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you always being supportive. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, Maria P. Carpenter is the website. Maria, thank you very much for being on the program again today, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Awesome.
And we're out.
It's over. Go home. Is your business in need of marketing? Try starting a podcast, but not just any podcast. Podcast like a pro. We can show you how to take your business from being invisible to becoming a brand people trust. Go to www.businessbros.biz to get